There's more than one way to paint a dog, and I'm going to show you how I painted this dog with acrylic paint. I'll show you what I used and how I get set up. And then after that, I'll show you a few other ways I interpreted it using different styles, like Picasso and just an abstract painting. But I think you'll enjoy seeing different ways you can interpret one subject. Some of the stuff I need for acrylic painting is, I always use this blending medium. And it doesn't have to be Liquitex, but this blending medium helps your paint kind of not dry so fast. And you know, the one problem with acrylic is that it dries too fast, and people complain about that quite often. So if you use a blending medium like this, it will just slow that down. And what you do is you just put a few drops of this into your little dab of paint or little glob of paint in your palette. Just mix it up, just a few drops, and then you can start painting after you mix that all with all your different paints. Then I also use, this is called Flow Aid, and I'll show you that here. I don't know if it will focus on that. Flow Aid. Doesn't have to be Liquitex, but something like that. And what you do with this is you put, it's like 1 drop to 20, so 20 drops. So you put a little bit of that in a little container of water, like I put like maybe 20 drops in here because I have quite a bit of water. And that I use as my, also a medium. When the paint needs to be a little thinner, I use that instead of plain water. And it just has a better viscosity when you're putting it on the canvas or paper. I have a paper canvas here that I'm going to be painting on, and it just helps with the flow of everything. So, and then I have a container of water to rinse my brushes out, and remember always to wipe the extra paint off your brushes before you dip it in that. I have my roll of paper towel, coveted paper towel, so use that sparingly. And then we're ready to go. You have your reference photo here, and I've printed it out the same size that I want to paint it. And I've put it right next to my canvas. This is a paper canvas that I'm using for the acrylic painting. And what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is line it up at the bottom and draw a border on the bottom for how big the painting's going to be. And then measure up 8 inches because this is going to be an 8 by 10 painting. And then I drew a border at the top. And then I measured the dog across the widest part of him, and it's 8.5 inches. So then I measured within that 10-inch area and put the 8.5 inches right centered in that, within that 10-inch area. Now I'm continuing to mark all the landmark points, like the middle of the eyeball and the space between the eyes and the size of the eyes. This means the vertical height and the horizontal spacing between them, and the space between the ears, the space between the nostrils, and the space between the 2 tips of the ears. And you just continue on measuring all the different landmarks that you want to put in. You can put in as many as you want until you feel comfortable to draw the connecting points and finish your drawing of your dog. Once you have that drawing established, you can start painting. Now in this first pass, I'm establishing the background color, light, and then I start going in with the darker colors. And it takes a few layers with acrylic, so we just want to get the basic darks and lights in and just establish that ground, because you'll probably do more than one layer. Now in this layer, I start with the eyes, and with a smaller brush, establishing the pupils and the more detail in the eyes, and then the nostrils, and get those darks really established and more detailed. And then I start going in with some of the bolder color, the reds, and then bring in some more of the darks and lights, establishing more depth and bringing the painting to a closer finish. And then bringing some highlights in, and we're almost there. I do a little more painting after this to finish the painting, but that's about it.